Hello everyone. Before diving into today's topic, we want to take a moment to thank you for your support. Every like, comment, and subscription truly makes a difference and helps this channel grow. If you enjoy our content and don't want to miss our upcoming videos, subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell to receive all updates. What is consciousness? Have you ever really asked yourself that? Not in the way schoolbooks tell it, or in philosophical debates, but in the depth of inner silence, when everything stops and only the perception of being remains. Who are you when no one is watching? What remains when everything else fades away? It is in that mystery, in that subtle vibration we call consciousness, that one of the most fascinating questions of existence hides. Maybe we are not just flesh and electric impulses. Maybe we are something more. A hypothesis? Yes. But not just any hypothesis. A revolutionary possibility that calls us to look beyond what we know. At the center of this possibility lies a frontier of science still little explored, yet extraordinarily evocative: quantum neurodynamics. According to this vision, our perceptions, emotions, thoughts, and memories would not be mere chemical electric reactions, but quantum vibrations occurring within microtubules, microscopic structures found in neurons. It is there, in the heart of our most intimate biology, that a bridge between mind and universe may be hidden. But there's more. These vibrations would not be limited by space or time. They would not be localized. In other words, consciousness would not reside in the brain, or at least not only there. It would not be confined to the skull, nor to the present moment. On the contrary, it would behave as a non-local phenomenon, diffuse, interconnected. Like gravity or light, consciousness would emerge as a fundamental function of the universe, not as a byproduct of matter, but as its origin. This is where the theory of orchestrated objective reduction comes into play, proposed by some theoretical physicists. It suggests that every time we perceive, choose, or live consciously, a quantum collapse occurs. But it is not a collapse caused by an external observation, as in classic quantum experiments. No. This collapse is internal, natural, gravitational. It happens spontaneously, as if reality itself were an invisible symphony and our consciousness the instrument playing its notes. Everything you see, touch, think, or imagine is nothing more than condensed information. An organized vibration, which takes shape from the primordial chaos thanks to the inner order of consciousness. This consciousness, therefore, would not be produced by the brain, but would use it as a medium, like a radio that captures frequencies from an external source. The brain tunes in, interprets, transmits. But the signal comes from elsewhere. Perhaps from a universal conscious field, an invisible fabric that permeates everything and has neither beginning nor end. This hypothesis completely overturns the classical paradigm. For centuries, it was believed that consciousness was a secondary effect of matter's organization. But today, the deeper we investigate the foundations of reality, the more an opposite view emerges. Matter is a product of consciousness. Particles are born from waves of possibility. And these waves, even before manifesting, seem to obey a deep logic, an invisible intelligence. A consciousness that knows itself, shapes itself, manifests itself. This consciousness is not a metaphysical mystery, but a physical principle. A model of order, inscribed in the very structure of the universe. That's why everything is connected. Not in a poetic sense, but literally. Everything is relationship, every action is a wave, every thought is energy. In this universal field, you are not a body that possesses a consciousness. You are a consciousness manifesting in a body. So, what does it mean to die? It is not an absence. It is a transition. The body stops vibrating at a certain frequency, but the consciousness does not dissolve. It reorganizes, like a wave changing direction, like a melody changing key. Death, in this vision, is not an end, but a passage. Even pain, seen from this perspective, changes meaning. Every suffering is an energetic interference, a disharmony. And every healing is a reharmonization between what you are and the source you come from. Healing is not fixing. It is finding your frequency again. Every emotion is a note. Every thought, a wave. Every dream, a fragment of the field that generated you. And when you feel lost, you are not broken, you are just out of tune. But you can find your melody again, because the source is never far. It is in everything. It is in you. We don't need religions, dogmas, or rites. We only need awareness. The awareness that you are much more than a collection of molecules. You are an eternal vibration traveling through forms. Every act of consciousness is an echo of the source. Every choice you make, every act of love, every truth you embrace, is an alignment. A return to your original nature. If we learned to see ourselves not as isolated objects, but as informed energy, vibrant intelligence, conscious wave, then every fear would vanish. Because separation would no longer exist. Not between body and soul. Not between life and death. Not between us and the universe. Only connection would exist, recognition, resonance. Quantum physics is slowly showing us that we are not passive observers in a mechanical universe. We are co-creators in a vibrant field of possibilities. Every one of our intentions, every mood, every focused thought modulates this field. And when multiple minds align to the same frequency, a collective wave is born that can change reality itself. The universe is not a machine. It is a mind in action. A consciousness in motion. And we are its neurons, its living reflections. We are not here to survive. We are here to evolve. To expand consciousness through the human experience. And every time we choose love, beauty, truth, our vibration rises, aligns, comes closer to the heart of the cosmos. You are not here by chance. You are here to remember. Not something you learned, but something you have always been. The soul is not a riddle to solve. It is a melody to listen to. A silent symphony that speaks to your heart when the mind becomes still. When you ask yourself who you really are, don't look outside. Don't wait for the answer from the world. The truth is in the beat of your heart, in the light that never fades, in the stillness that remains when all else disappears. Science can accompany you. But the discovery, that's yours. Every day. With every choice. With every breath. And if even for a moment, you felt this truth vibrating inside you, then it means your soul is answering. It is resonating. And you are exactly where you need to be.